Welcome to CF After Dark post-game show after Iowa State falls to Arizona 73-57 on Big Monday. The final road game of the year did not go well. I'm Matthias Schwarzkopf. With me is Levi Stevenson, Tom Turner, the mustache, and Austin Keeney. Where do we want to start?
I think we should start off.
Not everybody at once.
Let's do the compliment sandwich here. At least let's do an open-sided compliment sandwich.
Oh, so we're firing someone.
No, we're gonna do the open-sided compliment sandwich here, which we're gonna start off with. I do want to commend this team is that after the egg they laid against Texas Tech, I was very pleased with their general effort, rebounding and hustling for balls and stuff like that tonight. I was much happier with that, with their effort on the glass and on defense, especially early on anyways. Tonight, this was a game I think it would have been easy for them to come out flat, especially in a tough road environment, but they came out, they hustled their ass off, and really pretty much all game too. I mean, the last 4 minutes or so, it just kind of felt like everyone was just trying to get the fuck out of there. But for the first 30, for the first 30 minutes of the game, 35 minutes of the game, I would say its effort was there. And I thought they did a really, really nice job on the glass.
Now that we're in the performance improvement plan portion of this conversation, now that we're pipping these 29% from the field ain't gonna do it.
Mattia is currently peeling internet off of the nearest potato.
Really?
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, that's fun. My internet is just as good as Iowa State shooting.
It's giving a lot of credit to Iowa State shooting, I guess, but Keeney, I can see you stewing over there.
Just kind of wondering. Well, okay. Look, anybody think that game was going to go well other than Cyclone Larry? Because it just felt like we were kind of lined up to get beat pretty bad. And Levi, you're right. I thought the effort was there, but look, we got to have a conversation about Joshua Jefferson. Let's be honest. Look at the stat line tonight. 2 of 17, 0 of 5 from 3, 4 turnovers. He was in foul trouble all night. Did not play good defense. He looked gassed even though he was in foul trouble all night, so he wasn't playing very much. And he's supposed to be your best player, and he's your guy who's going to make an All-American team. Like, I'm sorry, that's just not good. Bye, Matthias. That's really disappointing, because when you get in games like this, you need your best players to play well. And honestly, it looked like Taman was really the only guy that really gave a shit tonight. I hate to say it, but
I thought Blake Buchanan.
We played hard, but I don't know. I feel like with Jefferson, he's stoic by nature. He's got a pretty calm demeanor about him, but like, I feel like there's a difference between being calm and like in control of your emotions and just not looking like you're interested in playing basketball. And it looked like he wasn't that interested in playing basketball tonight. Like, at the rim, he is just throwing the ball up there and missing everything. He 6 or 7 air balls are just like off the backboard and couldn't even hit the rim, standing right by there. That's just not good. Not good at all. I don't know what else to say. Like, that, you can't have your best player play that bad.
Tom?
I don't even know what to say. I don't know. I'm like so mad right now. And I'm also still sick, which makes it so much worse. But like, this isn't a game that like decides our first round game. Like, we're gonna win the first game in March. I think I'm pretty confident in the round of 32. Depends on the matchup, of course, like every single game in March. But this game was so important for like Sweet 16, Elite 8 games, because like you're gonna face a team that's just as good as you or better. All you ask to do on a different home court is compete and show you belong. And they didn't look like they belonged after tying the game at 22. Like, I don't know. Torre, that's a huge problem. it goes so much further than Torre because then Bateman is asked to do way too much than he should as a freshman. You're asking Heisey to dribble when he shouldn't dribble. He's better at multiple other things. And now all of a sudden you have 2 tired guards over there because Torre is only playing 19 minutes on the road. Like, I don't know. Austin hit it pretty well with Taman. I thought he played great. I was pretty upset with him with his flopping. I mean, he does it every game. I've gotten used to it. But the fact that he had 2 open layups when we were making one of our later runs in the second half, and he just biffed them both because he was trying to draw a foul. Like, that's just ridiculous from a senior. And another big one is it looked like he got fouled. We didn't really get to see a second angle when we went to the TV break. I believe it was the under 12 media. Come out of it, immediate steal with Taman. Fast pace down the court. What does he do? He just pops it out, and then I don't even remember what happened after that. But I was like, Taman, dude, like the highest level of basketball I played is high school, and it was so easy to know your coach screams at the refs about a missed foul call, and you have the ball in transition. The person who they missed the foul call on, and you don't go to the rim. That's ridiculous. That was a 9-point game then, and then they went on like a 6-0 run. We called timeout. Like Taman, the shot-wise, he shot fine, and I like the way he was shooting the ball. He was confident, and that we need that going into March. But some of these plays was just ridiculous, and it goes to the point of like he's a senior leader. Like he's loved by the fan base. He had that rebound against Houston, but like what are we doing, man? Like that's just ridiculous. I don't know. I'm very mad right now.
I think one thing that this team, I think, is missing, and I think part of it's because Taman is generally a quiet guy. He's not a big talker necessarily. If you think back to a lot of the great Iowa State teams, the ones that have been really like, the ones that we really look back on fondly, pretty much all of them had a really, really good on-court leader. And I don't want to like take away too much, but like, this team doesn't have a good vocal on-court leader that is capable of reeling them back in when they've spun themselves out of control. Because what this team has a bad habit of doing is when they start spiraling and when they start cratering on offense, it just keeps getting worse for a while until something happens. There isn't anyone to stop the bleeding, and because they don't really have. They don't have that on-court leader if you think back to like a Naz Long or a Monte Morris or a George Niang or even, I'm trying to think if there's even like some TJ players that would kind of qualify in there. But Kurt Jones, absolutely. Guy that can, when shit's going wrong, he can either go get you a bucket or he can get the team centered back into where they need to be to stop the bleeding. And when you have that issue, and then you also have this issue, which I'm kind of in Keeney's boat here, which if Joshua Jefferson is probably going to be an All-American. I think at least to begin the night, he was second on Ken Palm's list for Player of the Year for the Wooden Award and all this. Like his high end is he's a very good player. He's had a very, very good season. But being that guy on a team that had whatever Final Four or higher aspirations, he had to be better tonight, period. There is no excuse for how he played, period. Early foul trouble. I mean, foul trouble happens. Sometimes just you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. But the problem is he would get a foul and then he would do something stupid on the other end because he was frustrated, or he might pick up another foul. And there was a critical juncture in the second half where Iowa State had started to kind of creep back into it a little bit. They got it back to like 8 points, 9 points, something like that. And Arizona had finally kind of stopped the run a little bit, but Iowa State was kind of teetering on it. Like they need to keep scoring to try to keep this thing moving. And then on the next possession, Joshua Jefferson clears everybody out, takes it to the hole, misses the layup, gets a rebound, and then ISOs on the post and airballs a layup, or an airballs like a hook shot. And I don't know how we're at this point in the season, and Joshua Jefferson has not recognized yet that just backing dudes down in the post just is not his strong suit. And you cannot do that against Arizona, who has the best front court in college basketball, period. You can't there are very few people in the country right now that you would trust to just back down on Arizona in the post. And Joshua Jefferson is not in that group right now. That is not to say he isn't a good player or can't play really well, but that is not his game. He is not an isolation basketball player. He's just not. We saw him lose it in the post a number of times. And I know it sounds like we're being hard on him, but it's because we know he can play better. And because if he's a fourth-year senior that has played a million minutes of basketball, he has to be better, period. There is no excuse for how he played tonight. And
he's the highest paid player on the team.
Absolutely.
He's
Absolutely.
the guy who's going to get all the postseason accolades. Like, he's the guy that it all revolves around, or it's supposed to. And it's not just that he can't score in the low post. Look at his 3-point shooting since we started the tough stretch of the schedule.
Yep.
I just looked at the game log. He's 4 of 24 from 3 since the Kansas game.
It's actually worse than I thought it was.
A lot of them are open. Like, he just could not hit an open shot tonight. Like, a couple of them he took were good shots that I would want him to take in the flow of the offense, but he's just not making them anymore. And God, you're looking
so much
at
better at passing out. He's a really good passer out of the post too. Like, they just don't use that.
when you get him moving downhill and like making decisions with the ball, or when he is passing out of the post. But there's not open shooters for him to pass the ball to. That's another problem. But like, he's just not doing the things that he's best at. And
I'm seeing a couple of comments like this with the roster management, load management, things like that. I've been saying this kind of for, since the beginning of the season, and really for all of Otz's era here. The thing that he is lacking just a little bit, or has lacked, is the ability to go 10 guys deep. And some coaches just don't do that, and we see it nationwide. But the style of play that we bring to the table requires a lot of effort, night in and night out. Prep for the season, just to even get to where they need to be, is a lot of work. I would like Otz to make it and this will be something we could talk about when the portal opens and we have more deep discussions about it, because it's not going to change today by any means, because it is what the rotation is what unless he makes some drastic change going into March, which is also could be a recipe for disaster in its own right. But barring any of that, the rotation is what it is. But going forward, I think, with the addition of multiple high school recruits, some transfer portal guys, and obviously our budget is rather limited, but we do have to find the ability to have at least 9 guys that could play every game, and hopefully maybe a guy that's the 10th guy that comes in for 5 minutes, rather than relying on these 3 guys, because we see it as we get into this. I'm not saying that fatigue was a thing tonight, because Arizona is just better than us, frankly, right now. Can we beat Arizona at any given time? If we played them in Hilton, could we beat them? Sure. But we also could drop in a game easily in Hilton, as we saw on Saturday. But we need to find a way for this team going forward. If Otz is going to truly play the same way for the next 10 years, which he probably will, find a way to go 10 deep and figure that out. But for this year's team,
I guess I got to say, I'm not personally a believer in that idea. I think 8 is enough. Yeah. Like, you've got 8 guys that you feel comfortable.
Based on what, though? I'll challenge you on that. Based on what? Because here in the last every year, other than that first year going into the Otz, in the Otz era, where the team was just limited in general, but every year after that, we have had some issues with either injuries or guys just, petering out towards the end of the year,
based on just having like bodies and keeping people fresh. That's what you're arguing for.
Are you saying that you just need the Eric Mulder spot? Like, no offense to Eric Mulder, but like, you just need that guy to be capable of playing more minutes.
Correct.
Like,
sure, that's fair.
Correct. No, I'm not saying like we need 10 Joshua Jeffersons. Hell no, you'll never get that. But I'm saying the ability to go 10 deep, stretch out the minutes throughout the season, keep everybody fresher as the year goes on. Because there is plenty of points in these last 2-3 years that a lot of that would have helped.
Injuries are what they are. You can't account for that. But like, you're playing twice a week. and you're you're 21 years old, your body should be in perfect shape to be able to play 2 basketball games a week. It's not
I
like
agree with that.
Maybe we practice harder than some other teams do, but
we do.
And maybe that is the philosophical difference. I don't think it's a lack of guys. It might be the guys that you have right now. You're counting on a couple of freshmen. One of them is really limited offensively. I guess played as a first-year guy in the program too. I don't know if he's classified as a freshman. So you basically have 3 freshmen that you're playing. 2 of them are extremely limited offensively when you look at Torre and Plata. Bateman is kind of a microwave. You don't really know what you're going to get out of him night to night. Like, there's just too much variability there. But
at this point, it can't hurt.
I
think it's more to do with the guys that you have versus do you have enough people.
I like the idea of like being able to go 10 deep, but if you look at like champion, they have like 8.5 guys. Like they have like 8 main rotation guys, and then they have like one other guy that's just like in once in a while. Like you rarely see like the really high end teams go 10 deep.
But that said, I don't think for this year's team, like what the huge issues are right now is really the ability to go 9-10 deep is not really the cause of the issue.
No. I mean, right now you're looking at a team that has every night has at least 1-0 on offense and will find a second one. Whether it's Toure has been a 0 on offense since December, and Heisey was a 0 tonight. Buchanan and Lipsy were 0s against Texas Tech. Like it seems to find 2 0s on offense every single night and nobody to help out Milan Momcilovic. Because I see lots of people getting.
Okay, Andrew, I'm gonna fire somebody in the chat. Like literally, there was 30 comments about it. Yes, I'm gonna comment on it.
Yeah, tons of comments about it. I saw tons of comments too about like Milan Momcilovic not getting open enough and stuff like that. It's like that dude had to UFC fight his way down on every possession. It was unreal how much Arizona was getting away from. But I also believe that Iowa State did not do enough to get that guy off of him. I don't think they did enough to help get Milan open.
Just real quick, I think all 3 of you guys were right with this year's team, whether it's the personnel and needing 9 or 10. Otts wanted that. Yeah. Mason Williams was supposed to be a starter.
Yep.
And he just wasn't because the injury, which sucks because Bateman was still going to play and Torre was going to be the backup point guard. Their roles would have been reduced. You would have seen a lot more Heisey at the 4, which would have gave Jefferson some rest, which was much needed for an example like today. Now, again, that lineup would have been different. Heisey wouldn't have been playing the 4 against Arizona. But, like, you guys were spot on with that. Like, this year, it was supposed to be a little different. It was supposed to be, and it just didn't work out. Nelson was the replacement for Mason Williams, and it didn't work out. It sucks the way it went because it was supposed to be different this year, and the Cards weren't like it.
Well, guys are going to get hurt. Like, you can't have like 13 guys and expect 3 of them are going to get like I looked at the box score to the championship game last year with Houston and Florida, and they both basically played 7 guys in the championship game. Like, what if you have the right core, you don't need a deep bench. We might just really not have the right core right now.
It's really hard to play.
There's perspective in that though, because the 7 guys that they're using compared to our 7-8 guys is a little bit of different caliber.
Right. But like Houston, you would think they're in the same ballpark as we are financially, and they find a way to get more out of their guys.
And they play the same like physicality that we do too.
Same ballpark financially, but they also allocated more to the basketball, as clearly by looking at their football team some years, except for last year.
So Houston went like 9-3 last year. I was gonna say that was a bad argument.
Minus last year.
Minus
that's
the
1 point to me.
We're in. Yeah, minus the year we're in.
It probably was still the same.
I don't
allocation.
I don't like the. I mean, like, you're right, Tom. That like missing Mason Williams kind of changed what they kind of thought the roster was. And I'm fine with that. Like I do understand that, but we are 30 games into this season.
No, yeah.
If they have they've had more than enough time to figure out something different that didn't involve Mason Williams. I mean, Mason Williams he's a good player. He's not God. Like, I mean,
is he a shooter?
Like,
is he like a 3-point shooter?
Not
a passable
really.
3-point shooter.
He's more of a mid-range guy, if I remember correctly.
More refined version of Dom Nelson.
It really feels
Dom
like
Nelson
the thing that
he's
we are
Dom Nelson
missing
with a
more than
jumper.
anything else is passable 3-point shooting from guys that are not named Bateman and Momcilovic.
We just don't have. There's nobody right now on offense that takes any pressure off Milan Momcilovic. So every team's entire scouting report is deny Milan Momcilovic the ball. Do not let him touch the ball, and the rest of the offense will crater around him because they don't know who to pass it to. And I talked about it after the post game on Saturday, but there's so many possessions now that you can watch the offense, and it's clear that they're just cutting and passing for just the sake of doing it. There's times there was one it was when Eric Mulder was in the game. Now, granted, he doesn't play a lot, so it's just there's not as much chemistry there. But again, we're in game 30 of this. They should know what they're doing at this point. But Eric Mulder comes in and I want to say Lipsy nearly ran into each other.
Bateman, yeah.
Him and Bateman nearly ran into each other 28 feet away from the basket.
Yeah.
And that's unacceptable. You're on the road against a top 5 basketball team, and we're still trying to figure out on offense what the fuck everyone else is supposed to be doing. It's regularly where guys are being they're surprised where they pick up their dribble and then they just start looking around for a pass. They don't know where they're going with the ball. They don't know where this play is supposed to go. They're just doing stuff.
There are a lot of possessions that end up with Buchanan standing at the top of the key and just doing dribble handoffs with guys.
I hate that. I hate that set.
We just had a comment. Andrew just said post up, referring to Milan with Levi talking about you just can't. Have you seen Jefferson's post ups? There's 3 guys in the paint. You can't do it. Jefferson's somehow stronger with the ball than Milan, and Jefferson turns it over a ton in the paint. You can't post up when Torre's on the court, sometimes when Taman's on the court, and when Heise's on the court. They don't respect any of those guys.
No.
You can't do post ups unless somehow the floor is completely ISO'd. It just doesn't work.
Tom is just commenting on how many times JJ has actually passed the ball to Milan, and probably not as many as he needs to because Josh Jefferson is not looking to pass out of the post as much as he needs to be, but also they're not doing a good enough job getting. Milan Momcilovic is inarguably the best shooter in college basketball and one of the best ones over the last quarter of a century, and they are just not doing anything to get him open. The screens that they're setting him are him. Where Buchanan's sitting at the top of the key just all alone. Tonight they were playing. Arizona started playing drop coverage against it because they don't give a shit about Blake Buchanan. So all they're doing is Milan Momcilovic is running around the backside of Blake Buchanan sitting at the top of the key.
It died with AJ DeBonsa. And they're running him off of that screen, but that's a screen you set for a guy that's going to cut to the rim. That's what you set for Taman Lipsy to get downhill or Dom Nelson to get downhill. Somebody to get downhill. That's the screen you run him off of. You don't run a spot up shooter like Milan Momcilovic off the backside of a handoff. That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. That is not how you get a guy open. But we're still doing it. That's the only thing they're doing to even try to get Milan Momcilovic open. And it drives me insane. Those set screens for Jamarian Bateman, Jamarian Bateman, I believe, I want him to keep chucking. He's got the scorers and shooters mentality. I want him to keep going. It's great that they're working to get him open, but it's a shame because Milan Momcilovic was fighting with Delorso all night, and they just didn't do anything to help him get open, and it was crazy.
It does feel like that teams have shifted their number one defensive priority from stopping Joshua Jefferson to stopping Momcilovic. Mm-hmm. It's noticeable when you watch the way that teams play him off the ball, and
mm-hmm.
they're physical. They're putting their hands on him and just kind of hoping it doesn't get called because more often than not, the ref's not paying attention, but they're just not going to call that many off-ball fouls. And then, we're just not doing enough to get him open.
So I see that Milan can't make his own shot. One, that's not totally true, but 2, he's shooting 51% on a crazy volume from 3.
Was shooting 51%.
But now when he gets the ball, he's rushing his shot because it's his only opportunity to get one off. And that's why his shooting is dropped off.
Totally. Absolutely.
And it's insane to me that he doesn't, and I trashed on Taman in the chat for doing it, but Milan should foul bait a lot more. And I'm very confused why he doesn't, because when you're facing that physical of teams, especially on one-on-one defense, and you get that crack of open space and you're rushing your shot, Nothing's better than a little pump fake and jump into the guy when he's in the air. And like Levi, you made that great comment of like, what's Tatum supposed to do in the air? It's just like, in like the real world where basketball is awesome all the time, like that's not a foul. But unfortunately, for some reason it is. And like Milan could get to the line very easily. And I don't understand like why he doesn't do it more.
If he could if he could get his feet set, Tom, I think you're right. You know, he's really good with the pump fake and he can get guys in the air, jump into him and shoot.
He's done that. He's done that a couple times this year, but it's been a long time.
It's few and far between. Yeah, it's unfortunately Milan is too honest of a basketball player right now.
He's too ethical of a hooper. I'm sorry.
Far too ethical of a basketball player.
Sorry, we play fair.
Before I have to jump out of here, but I do see have seen a couple comments. It's been a while since we've all gone down a rabbit hole of different things here, but the floor and the ceiling of this Iowa State basketball team. And, I knew this stretch would be tough. Everybody did. But we also didn't really believe that Iowa State would lay a goose egg like they did on Saturday against Tech. You could obviously lose that game anytime, anywhere, but the way it went down, it just made it kind of infuriating. But now Iowa State's pretty much the thing we wanted to avoid for the last couple of weeks in this show after a game, is barring a massive loss by Kansas to Arizona State, which could happen because they did beat Tech. Barring that Kansas loss, Iowa State's pretty much cemented into that 5 spot and playing on Wednesday. Now, the bad thing about that is you get like Baylor or Arizona State. I think whoever wins that game on Wednesday, you win that, then you go play Kansas if everything shakes out the same way. But I think for this team, in my brain, while a lot of these issues that we're seeing today are still going to exist when they go into the NCAA tournament, but some of the best thing that could probably happen to this team is get away from the Big 12 conference. The first 2 weekends of the tournament, I think they're going to match up with whoever it is. They're not going to have a stout front line like we've seen the last couple of weeks in that first 2 rounds, but then you get to the Sweet 16, that changes a whole new ball game at that point. But I think for this team, while I think a ceiling, I was saying, hey, the ceiling could be national title, might change that a little bit, but I would teeter between the ceiling being an Elite 8 or / Final Four, but then the floor is also a lot like it could be around a 64 exit, but
you'd have to get an especially bad matchup. But yeah,
yes, so it could happen just based on that, but. There's still a lot of good that can still happen from this season, but one of the best things that could happen for this team right now is getting away from the Big 12 conference. Just in my head.
I don't disagree with you necessarily. I just wish I would be more in on that.
I wish we weren't saying that though.
Well, It's more just like getting away from the Big 12 conference. Like it does get you away from the teams that play you all the time. But the problem is that the scouting report on us is so easy right now that it doesn't really
also
you don't have to have played us twice already to know how to play us. All you do is watch a little bit. You watch the Texas Tech and the Arizona game, and you say, okay, you take away Milan Momcilovic, they're going to struggle because Joshua Jefferson right now is not playing in a way where you can rely on him to carry the team. And that's all you do. I mean, and then at that point, it's like, well, if Iowa State beats us because Taman Lipsey knocked down 4 threes, then, we live with that. But right now there's nobody offensively that's helping Milan Momcilovic outside because, they're still kind of guarding Joshua Jefferson out there, but he's not knocking him down. What'd you say, 4 of 24 in the last couple weeks?
4 of 24
Awesome.
since the Kansas game.
Horrible. I mean, that's just not good enough. Like he's right. Like he was for a long time. You're probably your second best shooter. And he's just not there anymore. Now he's just a non-factor from out there. You have too many zeros on offense.
I guess my real point is this. I think there's still a lot more fun for us out there to cheer for, but you could also quickly realize that a lot of bad can happen really quickly just based on some of the things that have been happening over the course of the the last couple weeks here. So, the sky isn't totally falling, but there's meteors peeking through, that could just end us all.
I agree with you.
If you're sorry, Tom, go ahead. I haven't talked about
I was just gonna say before you hop off, Matthias, like I agree with you. Like I do think you need to get away from the Big 12 because I'm not trying to be positive because this was a bad game. But if you look at the
sounds like you're trying to
Tom
be.
doesn't want to be accused of
I don't
want to
be positive. But like I saw some comments that said, "Oh man, here comes the voice again." But that the ceiling is the Sweet 16. I just don't think that's realistic because your 3 losses, the number 1 overall pick to drop 30 or 29, a point guard like Christian Anderson, and a top 5 front line in college basketball. You are not going to face either of those 3 things in your first 2 games. You're not going to face a point guard like Christian Anderson. You're not going to face a potential number 1 overall pick. And you're not going to face a top 5 front line. Like a Sweet 16 is very, very easy. Not easy. Very, very somewhat doable. So let's stop acting like it's impossible. It's the Sweet 16 game that we thought was minimal. We expected a Final Four, and now we're worried about a Sweet 16 game. That's the problem I have. And now I'm going to chug some water off screen.
Yeah, I mean, it just sucks. It sucks to have to oh, he died. It sucks that we have to recalibrate.
Tom's dead.
We have to recalibrate the expectations a little bit. I mean, that's what you do in college sports, though, too. But it's the unfortunate that we're recalibrating our expectations the other way rather than to the top side of it. But I just think in my heart of hearts, and here I am pulling the Cyclone Larry optimism out of my brain. But do I think this team can win the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City? No. But do I think they could make an Elite 8 and then you get to an Elite 8 game and anything can happen at that point? Yes, I do. But it also teeters on the matchups and things like that, which we can pretty much confidently say, barring a big run in Kansas City, this Iowa State team's probably going to end up on the 3 seed line, which whatever. But, anything can happen from there. So the goal right now is just get to the Sweet 16 and then see what happens. Which I think they're going to get to the Sweet 16.
That's where I am too. I guess I'm at the point where I would be surprised if Iowa State made a Final Four run or, obviously won a national championship. It feels like there is a very clear there's a top 3, maybe a top 4 that has separated themselves from the pack, and Iowa State's just not part of that pack.
Not anymore. No,
it's Duke, it's Arizona, it's Michigan, it's Florida. I'm not there personally with UConn, but they would kind of be the 5th. And then you look at everybody else that's in that 6 through 16 range. I still think Iowa State is competitive. And those other teams have gone through their own struggles. Houston just came off a 3-game losing streak. Illinois can't string wins together. Purdue is free falling. Michigan State's not very good offensively. Nebraska's literally never won an NCAA tournament game. So we're still, I think, in that second tier where we have the type of ceiling where you could get yourself on a run. Does Matthias need to?
Elliot said we said a Sweet 16 only would be a failure 2 weeks ago. And 2 weeks ago, Iowa State had just blasted Kansas and then beat Houston in 3 days. Since then, they have played the worst basketball of the season. Here we go. No, Matthias, got to put it on the top. Going through the bottom.
Dude,
I have a hard time with we have to get
bottom.
I have a hard time with we have to get to a certain round of the tournament because the tournament is so variable and random. But it would feel to me. It would still feel like a disappointment if we got to the Sweet 16 and got bounced.
It would definitely be a disappointment.
I brought up that Elliott comment there because if you take the whole encompass of the entire season, obviously we're being more reactionary to what is currently happening, but where we were to where we are now and the whole season, everything combined, the Sweet 16 still feels like it sucks.
Yeah.
Considering we were all just saying a couple weeks ago that the ceiling could be a national title run, which, shit happens. You could still win you could still make the national title game, but a lot's gonna have to go right for this Iowa State team for have that go.
I mean, it's still gonna feel like just because we were so convinced that this was like a Final Four team for a long time that no matter what, even now a Sweet 16 and getting bounced in the Sweet 16 would still feel like an underachievement because we've seen the peak of this team, and they're really, really damn good when they're playing good basketball.
Yep.
And
it's still in there somewhere.
It's somewhere, but right now, that's what's really honestly probably the most frustrating for me personally is like we've seen what they can do, and they're just not doing any of that recently. And I know like sometimes you're just not playing your best basketball. I get it, but it's more like if I felt like the offensive fluidity from November and December, even from if you go back to like the tournament, the offensive fluidity that we had early in the season, if I felt like that was there and they still just weren't making jump shots, I would be like, I'd be able to have more internal peace with it. But right now I feel like they're just not even like attempting to play the same kind of basketball as they did early.
They're doing a lot of dumb shit.
They're doing a lot of dumb shit. And I just feel like they're not playing. They're not even like attempting to play the same kind of basketball that, got them into the top 5 in December and stuff like that. Like, I just don't, that's what's the most frustrating to me is it just doesn't feel like they're doing the same thing.
You guys think we're at the players only meeting portion of the season?
Who holds the meeting? I think that's the question.
Oh,
yeah,
good exercise.
Who makes the call?
Yeah, that's, I think, and like none of us are in the locker room. Maybe there is people stepping up, and maybe it's the people that are being told to step up that aren't doing it well. But like, I don't know. Like, I feel like sooner or later you have to see some of that on the court. But
I'll tell you guys what we need to do is we need to go back to missing free throws.
That is true.
Since we started making our free throws, we stopped being good at everything else.
That is true.
We made free
Fuck
throws.
the free throws.
At what cost?
we went 12 of 13 today, and the one miss was
Fuck
Dom
me.
Nelson in garbage time.
I'd take 6 of 13 to be competitive in that game.
I gotta be honest, guys. My wife tried selling this car about a couple weeks ago. I said, no, don't do that. We might need that again.
Yeah, you got to keep that.
And here we are.
Obviously.
I need to record in my garage because I could go get mine too.
Well, go get it.
Well, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm in my basement, okay? I'm not in my garage.
We need to double this up and make the efforts go full blow here.
Oh man, how long is the show gonna be?
Well,
We'll
as long as it takes for you to go get the fucking car.
It'll be as long as it needs to be.
All right.
Fuck, here we go. Yes. Hell yeah. Double Slump Buster. Let's go.
This is the start of the championship DVD right here.
This is
Right
the
here.
start of the championship. If when we get the
Hey, Tom, I gotta be honest.
When this thing happens, one shining moment needs to start with 2 people on this podcast sitting inside Little Tykes cars.
I gotta be honest, Tom. The first time I did this, Matt Campbell left a week later.
Yeah, but we did win the football game. The important part was we won the football game.
We won the football game, but then I also did this after the Kansas game, and then we went on a good run. So, hey,
what I'm saying is like that. Like it may be a harbinger for terrible things in the future, but the next game we typically win after we wear the cars.
Well, and I forgot what I was going to say.
Cool. So actually, and the other part of this that's irritating is all of a sudden now a home game against Arizona State feels like one you really got to show up for. Like they have to play well against Arizona State.
I ain't worried about that. They're going to win that game, but then I'm just more worried about who the fuck we're going to match up with tomorrow.
Joshua Jefferson, ISO in the post, doth butter no biscuits. We need him to actually start passing the ball out of the post.
That is so. It's so weird how bad he played because I thought he would be better than Pete because against Sinak in Houston, and Sinak is taller, bigger wingspan. Jefferson on 4 of 10 shooting had 12, 6, and 5, and he made a 3. There we go.
I didn't think about the logistics of getting in this thing.
Fuck yeah, let's go, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hilarious.
This is fantastic stuff.
This is the After Dark difference, boys.
This is the After Dark difference.
Yeah, you ain't getting this anywhere else.
We have never lost while having
we've never lost immediately after Matthias wearing the car. We don't have official confirmation yet on the double car, but
it's either we're gonna crater or we're winning the national title. There's no in between.
The problem here is if we win on Saturday, then Tom, that does mean that we have to go purchase Little Tykes cars.
Oh yeah,
Go around
So
my
you
apartment,
as a
ask
single
on
man-
every single door. And just
say
like,
that-
you
No,
guys
you're
got
buying
No,
one.
you got to buy one. Yeah. Is that
I'm
you as a
picturing Tom with the mustache on Facebook Marketplace.
I can't.
Tom?
I need a little Tykes car.
If you-
Dude, that guy's a child predator.
Would you- Phineas donate $20 for a double car. Now we gotta see
What's quadruple car get us?
40. I don't know. Well,
I don't have room in my apartment.
Phineas.
That sounds like a you problem.
Finney's been
It is a
donating-
me problem.
Finney's been donating his shame betting wins, so like I appreciate that. But what's gonna be funny though is that Tom's gonna have to purchase a little Tykes car as a single man living in an apartment, or not. Well, I guess not single, but like living in an apartment, living by yourself in an apartment, right? Do you live alone?
And I'm gonna have to ride the elevator. If somebody gets on there with
That's
me,
exactly right. Is you're gonna have at some point you're gonna have to explain to somebody why you as a just a 20s dude living alone in your apartment, it has a little
With a
Tykes car.
mustache.
Yeah. But the
You got
cool thing is
Subway
you could
Jared
like
rolling
you
up in
you
here.
could paint like fun flames on the side or something like that, like make it cool.
Yeah, you can make like the Jeff Gordon car.
yeah, put some flames
Oh
on
no,
it. make
I
it
get
cool.
dibs on the I get dibs on the
yeah.
Gordon Rainbow Warriors paint.
All right. Well, Tom, you're going the Intimidator. You're going the black, all black.
Gets
with the
Dale
three.
Earnhardt.
Hell yeah, brother. Tom's like,
I'm kind of
who
in
the
on the
fuck's Dale
car.
Earnhardt?
Yeah,
Tom,
I'm
do you
not
know
a
who
racing
Dale-
guy. I was thinking more Lightning McQueen.
That'd be fun.
Not a race car guy.
You don't know
but
who
I'm
Dale
down with the
Earnhardt is?
car.
He says he's not a
I
race car
do,
guy,
I
then
do.
says the
Okay.
most famous race car of all time.
Thank God. Jesus Christ. I was about to come to Kansas City and kill you. Raise hell and praise Dale, baby.
I was a Gordon guy growing up.
Me too.
Jeff Gordon, man.
Austin already gave up. Weak.
Kenny, who was your NASCAR guy growing up?
Well, I was a Dale Earnhardt guy, so then I became a Dale Jr. guy.
I respect
Respectable.
that. I respect that. It was fun being a Gordon kid growing up because him and Earnhardt had the rivalry there for a while, and then obviously didn't. But then it's just that's fun. Then you had like Jeff. Then you had Jimmy Johnson following up right after that, and that was cool because Jeff Gordon owned part of his car and all that. Anyways, NASCAR talk. F1 starts this weekend. I don't know if anyone's an F1 fan or not. But anyways, basketball.
I also can't believe we had to play on Wednesday after we talked for fucking 5 weeks about not playing on Wednesday. Yet here we are.
That's the worst part, I think, because I like playing Kansas is cool, and I want the rematch on a neutral court against Arizona. But to do so, we have to play 2 games in 2 days.
Yeah.
Chris donating $20. Thank you. I mean,
Shout out, Chris.
I know, is Chris requesting something, or are you just a really nice guy? Thank you, Chris.
Double car payments.
Double car payment.
Oh, no, yes, you have to get a car. Yeah, we have to get cars. Listen, if we beat Arizona State on Wednesday, I'll be in the market for a little Tykes car.
Unfortunately, I will be too.
Tom, it's for the Cyclones.
It is. It is.
all
It could be
right.
my new gaming chair. I'm actually locked in on this.
Chat GBT. How do you buy a little Tykes car when you're a single man with a mustache without being put on a list?
It's called internet. You go to the internet.
People still ask questions on the internet.
Do I go to Target to get
that?
this?
Amazon, dude.
Yeah,
No,
you just
Facebook.
literally
No,
just-
Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, let's document this. Let's
Listen,
go through a journey.
Actually,
Like
Craigslist. Does Craigslist have any?
That's so much worse on Craigslist.
That's right.
yeah, you literally if we beat Arizona State Saturday, you guys have to order these cars on Saturday after the game to have them here by Wednesday.
Let's see.
At least I don't have to go pick it up at the house or anything. That'd be
All right, let's see here.
Chris says another 20 for you when it happens.
So unfortunately, Craigslist Kansas City does not have a Lil Tykes car available for sale currently.
Look at this. Here we go.
Car-
Another car fund donation. You guys are fucking nuts. Everybody is bought into this being the slump buster.
This is what turns the season around.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. It's going to happen, boys. As I was supposed to leave 15 minutes ago, but yeah, here we are.
Here we are.
We're
yeah.
committed.
The car fund is plentiful at this point. Wonder how You might be able to find one for Facebook. They can't be that expensive to just get one, right? They can't be that bad.
They're like
right?
$50.
Yeah, that's about where I would have put it.
Well, you guys got 60 now to use, so
Yeah,
you can
that's
buy
true.
1 1/5 of it.
I don't know if Matthias, when you put yours together, I feel like getting the wheels to work correctly was a pain
Andrew
in the
says
ass on that thing.
$40.59 on sale at Target. We are literally one donation away from having this thing covered.
I would just be looking at Marketplace and not having to build one yourself.
It's not that difficult.
That's how many pieces are there? They're
Not that many.
6? Like what? Four wheels, a body, a door, and a roof.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
It just depends on what you buy. I mean,
Yeah,
mine has like eyeballs and shit like that, which should take 2 seconds to put those in. But
I think it'd be a good test for me in growing up. I think I need to build this.
It would be a good test for Tom. Like it'd just be a good
this ain't your run of the mill Lego set, Tom.
Not a Lego guy. It's too
Tom
boring.
can't even change a light bulb, chat says.
That false. I couldn't.
Is your light even fixed yet?
Yeah, it didn't really make a difference. I brought a lamp over. I don't know if it looks better, but
yeah, it looks marginally better. Yeah,
Tom doesn't own a screwdriver.
Let's give Tom a little bit of credit though. It was not hit. Wait, that's not what. This is what I was going for. Is that no? Damn it! Someone. Oh, Tom can't change his own light bulb, so he couldn't legally change his own light bulb.
Yes,
it was not.
There was
his
a raid.
fault.
I would have been arrested.
Right. You'd have been. Yeah. I mean,
Maybe that's the start of the championship DVD. You being
Tom
raided.
is a dry salad guy.
Oh no!
Don't get me
Fucking
started on
psycho.
that. I don't.
Horrible.
Have we done that before?
Too sick for this.
That means you eat too many dry salads. You know what helps you make not sick?
Protein.
Ranch.
I don't know.
Putting liquids on your
nutrients.
salad. Even olive oil and
Winning
olive
basketball
oil and
games.
See,
lemon
I
vinegar.
didn't 30. I didn't understand you could put olive oil. Like I saw it at salad bars, I saw the option. And it didn't make sense in my brain. Cause I'm like, that's what you use on a pan to get the pan ready for the stove. Is that the same olive oil? Or am I
No. So you're gonna use extra virgin olive oil on salads and things like that. And you use regular olive oil for cooking in. They're different.
Interesting. It's unaware.
There are multiple kinds of olive oil. What?
I think
Jake
we saw the same.
is in their fucking Airbnb right now at Jake and Williams, I think, have us on their TV and put Matthias is doing all he can. This is before Austin joined in on the car.
Yeah, hey, come on. This is a team effort, all right? We got 2 cars on this one.
Yeah, well, it.
So that's what we look like on a 42-inch TV. God, Levi doesn't look any prettier. Tom's got a sick mustache. Austin looks like he's high. Are you high, Austin?
Wait, where are you seeing this shit?
On Twitter.
Oh, on Twitter. Okay, I thought you were looking
Or
at the comments.
X.
We just got a $2 comment for dry salads.
Do it.
Oh,
Shout out chat.
Refund
Shout out
it.
chat.
give it back.
Refund
Give it back.
Yeah.
Give that money
Refund
back.
it immediately. Fuck your dry salads. No, I'm sorry.
You know how cheap
stop.
dry salads are
Stop.
too? You know how cheap they are?
Stop. Yeah, they're cheap because they suck, Tom.
No.
Tom eats like a rabbit, and it makes me sick.
Tom.
It makes me sick hearing you eat dry salad.
Go to a restaurant and be like, give me the salad, but just the fucking plants. All you're doing is what Larry does with walk around eating houseplants, and you're just putting them in a bowl. That's all you're doing. You're just taking the houseplants and putting them in a bowl and then eating them.
I hit them with a Caesar salad dry. It's efficient. They
It's not a
know.
Caesar salad.
I
It's not a
mean
Caesar
business.
salad, then.
It's
It's
not
Yeah,
a
it
Caesar
is.
salad.
Isn't
It's
the
not
salad?
a Caesar salad.
Yes,
To be a Caesar salad, it has the dressing.
Isn't that what the lettuce is called though?
No!
It's called romaine lettuce. Damn it, Tom.
No.
Shit.
I thought that was a different kind.
Dry salad is just crunchy water.
This
This
is
is off the record, right? We can. Hey,
This is on the
Aiden, edit
internet,
this part
Tom.
out.
We're
This is on
looking
the
at
internet.
watch it right now, Tom.
we are live streaming on the internet right now, Tom.
I knew romaine was.
What
a
do you
thing.
mean? That's
I
what the
don't-
lettuce is called.
I knew romaine was a type of lettuce.
Tom's like, I think about the Romaine Empire all the
Ro-
all the time.
Romaine lettuce might be my favorite though. Now that we bring that,
Romaine lettuce is also
good.
my favorite type of lettuce, especially when you put shit on it.
There's another $2 dry salad comment that I don't want to put on.
They don't talk about types of lettuce in college, okay?
No, but they do make like salads with dressing on them at the dining center.
That's where I would go. And guess what? It was so cheap because they did it per pound and there was no dressing on it.
Why? You're supposed to
so cheap.
There's a reason that they put dressings at the salad bar.
It's not. It doesn't make sense though, because the salad's supposed to be healthy, and the ranch doesn't, and the dressing don't make it healthy.
What do you mean?
But that's what makes it taste good.
That's the.
No, but the romaine tastes good with the cheese, with the carrots.
No,
yes,
it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No.
Yes, when you get that, it's so hard to explain. But when you, I'm gonna use the word crispy, and you just gotta believe me. But when you get that piece of lettuce that's dry and you bite into it with the crunch, it's like a little crispy, and you get like the inside flavor of the water. It's like celery. It's so good. Like it's hard to say, but it just, I don't know.
Yeah, as general, so Caesar salad was actually created in Tijuana, Mexico, and the original dressing has sardines in it. If we went in there, Tia's go tarps off and Tom has to eat a non-dry salad on stream.
No, that's where I draw the line. That's where I draw the line with my fandom.
Tom will buy a Little Tikes car as a 20-something dude living alone in his apartment for the
But
cycle.
he will not eat salad dressing.
But olive oil on lettuce, way too far.
Yeah. I need to try the olive oil. That could change my perspective a little bit.
See, Total Dragon Mania is a fucking shit show over here, being like, oh, Tom's great. Tom's so enlightened with the dry salad take. I wouldn't, Tom, you don't want to be in Tom's camp on this. Dry salad.
I think
suck.
you do. I think it's fair.
I
think it's like 60-40. Like I understand
60,
it's a little awkward. I think it's a little awkward.
Do you believe 40% of this country is dry salads?
I think they should.
Tom, that's fucked. That's fucked.
Hold on here, boys. Hold on here, boys. Hold on here, boys.
Typical. No, there's ranch
It's off to
dressing
the
in
side.
that. There's ranch dressing in that. Hell no. Tom's should be
I
eating
don't
in
like
the neighborhood at
tomatoes like
Applebee's,
that
but
in
instead
my
he decided
salad.
to eat a fucking lawn clippings.
Steve Prohm seems like a dude who eats dry salads.
You take that back.
No, even Steve Prohm is smart enough to know you use vinaigrette and stuff like that.
I'm not saying this comment here says you're out of your mind if you think 40% of the people eat dry salads. I think 40% of the population would agree that a dry salad isn't crazy.
No,
Not even close.
I'm not going to concede that point.
I don't know. Guess we'll never know. Guys. I could be the 60%.
I feel like we do know. We know you're definitely wrong. There are not 40% of people.
You guys just try it. You try.
No, I'm not doing that.
This is crazy. I can't even get my point across. You guys won't try it.
I'm not going to walk out into my yard and pull out a pile of grass and eat it. Like, that's what you're eating.
Maybe you should do that if Iowa State wins the national championship.
You know what? If we win a national championship, I'll eat a dry salad on stream. But
I'll do it too. Yeah, I'll do it too.
I'll hate every second of it because it's disgusting and just not.
It's more than just the lettuce too. Like I got cheese on that bad boy. I got carrots, maybe a crouton or two.
Answer the question,
eat those
Tom.
separate.
A crouton or two. Tom,
yeah, I got to eat them separate though. They're too.
Just hold on a second. You're living far too large for the rest of us.
That's my bad.
You can afford croutons?
Croutons are good.
Maybe 2 croutons if he's feeling sexy that night, but no moisture.
Make an appointment with a professional, Tom.
Dry salad's not that crazy.
Tom, have you ever considered therapy before?
They probably think that the dry salad's cool, and so, yeah.
I doubt it. It's insane. Matthias, have you shotgunned?
We lost.
Was that a win only thing?
That's a win only thing.
Oh,
respect the shotgun.
I'm pretty sure. I feel like you shotgunned after a loss one time though.
No,
We didn't get an answer to this question, Tom.
Is Tom easy? No, I like milk.
That's
Milk's
just
good.
a wet salad.
I drink milk like by itself.
Well,
I know some people think that's weird.
but no. Drinking milk is fine.
Some
Eating
people
dry
think it's
salad is
weird.
far less weird than drinking milk.
Yeah, you're much closer
I
to
would
the
agree in that
40%
scenario.
of people don't drink milk than 40% of people eat dry salad.
That's so tough.
We win in that Thomas a jug.
Fine. I'll drink it from my mini car as a national champion. That's what I'll do.
Honestly, that would be electric TV. I want to be clear here. I'm assuming this is referring to the milk thing. Drinking milk just by itself is not weird.
No.
It's not. People do that. But like an aversion to drinking milk is way more common than eating a dry ass fucking salad.
Tom,
I don't know, man.
do you walk to your fridge and just pull out a bag of lettuce and just eat some of it?
I do
As like
like
a snack?
croutons sometimes.
That's not weird.
Thank you. That was top secret. That was a safe space between us, Austin. I'm glad that wasn't bad because
I just picture you like getting up in the middle of the night and like, I'm kind of hungry, and you walk into your fridge or you open up your fridge and you just grab a bag of lettuce and eat a handful of it and go back to bed.
No. See, like I'll have it for like lunch or something.
I assume that Tom will buy like a head of iceberg lettuce and just bite out of it like an apple.
What I don't understand is like I bring my lunch to work. I ate my lunch at school. People saw the dry salad. They didn't say anything.
He eats
Were
his
they
lunch
talking
in the
behind my back?
backyard,
Where are you
sometimes
from?
Sometimes in the long grass
What do you mean where I'm
in the
from?
rough.
What's
at a
your
golf
hometown?
course.
Neola.
Neola.
It's not even a real place.
Not really. Population's like 900 probably now. 950.
I just don't believe that you ate dry salad for lunch every day growing up and nobody ever told you that was weird.
People would be like, why don't you have ranch on that? I'm like, I don't like ranch / never tried it.
All right.
Whoa. If you can't do the / never tried it. You either have
No, it
never
goes
tried
with
it
it.
or you
No,
don't like
no,
it. Those are
that's-
mutually exclusive things.
I'm gonna do something here. I gotta go, but I'm gonna call a shot quick.
Okay.
Iowa State's win the national championship.
Love it.
Okay.
Our views went up since we started talking about this, by the way.
You know, the people like what they like. So, do we want to talk more basketball? I don't know. Do we?
Chat, do we do more basketball or do we just kind of make more fun of Tom?
Tom, do you have any other weird food things you do or don't do?
There's definitely some.
I had a
Sushi, don't like it.
Like, you don't like it at all?
No.
Sushi, I don't feel like is that weird. What, Austin? What do you want? Not you. Sorry, not Keeney. I'm just talking about the Austin in the chat. Say Levi noticed me. I don't know what the fuck he's looking for. I had a friend of mine. He's in his mid 30s, and it's kind of hard to describe him exactly. But I would describe him as maybe the least like curious person alive. Like he's interested in what's in front of him. That's just kind of what's it. But he was one day this was like about 5-10 years ago, something like that. We were hanging out at his apartment. We were looking for we were trying to figure out what we were gonna do for dinner, if we were gonna order pizza or whatever like that. And I saw that we had like a box of a hamburger helper there or whatever, and I was like, why don't we just make that and we'll split that? He's like, I don't know if I like hamburger helper. And I was like, really? He's like, I mean, like, it's not like the best ever, but like, I feel like most people like hamburger helper. And he's like, no, it's too liquidy. And I was like, the fuck are you talking about? It's too liquidy. Turns out all those years he had made hamburger helper and he just didn't cook it down. Like he would just dump the water in the pan, mix it up, and then just fucking eat it. I feel like that's a very like, that sounds like a thing Tom would do.
No.
Are you trying to tell me that he like ate the pasta hard? Like didn't cook the pasta?
I think he would cook it just long enough for the pasta to get soft, but there would be so much liquid still left over that it would just be like soup basically. It was a bizarre. This is also a person that regularly kept their apartment at like 83 degrees. Tom dry cake. Oh yeah, unfrosted.
I
cakes.
like frosting, but like not a lot. Like
I'm actually on board with Tom.
It's
here.
like a lot of sugar. Like I do like sugar and chocolate, but like too much sugar sometimes. Like with that amount of frosting. Like what are those cookies that have like a ridiculous amount of frosting on them?
You mean talking like Christmas sugar cookies?
Yeah, stuff like that. Like the cookies are good in general, but
I'm generally on board with you here that like too much frosting is too much frosting.
yeah.
But that's also just like, especially like powdered sugar frosting where it's just pure sugar. That's I can't do that.
I think I really don't think I have any more weird like food takes. Really, like the condiments.
Do you do ketchup on your steak?
No. Whoa, no. I'm a big steak guy. I used to like ketchup. Don't like it anymore. I also don't like condiments. The only one I like is barbecue sauce. And whenever somebody asks me why I don't, I say I like how the meal is prepared.
Why did Matthias donate $5 to his own fucking stream? Tom's mustache makes me moist like my salad dressing.
Like, joke's on him. He's got to split that $5 like 10 ways now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Andrew with a base take here. Crumble cookies are disgusting. I mean, they're not like the worst thing ever, but they're just.
I don't like paying $8 for one cookie.
And they're 4,000 calories a piece. Just overrated, man. See, this is why we need to stop enabling Tom here. I don't.
There's that 40%. I'm shooting 40% with the clip right now. That's what
There's two people for sure that like dry salads, and then this person just says Tom's takes are good.
That's, we don't know. That's a Tom burner. That's not. Yeah, that's not a real
Tom.
Person.
Love it.
He's even got a Royals jersey on. That's Tom. Like, I know it's just terrible. Yeah. No.
All right. So Tom likes dry salad. I guess I would. So I guess I don't know. If it feels weird to say like a dry French fry guy. Like I don't really like dipping French fries in anything.
I can get on board with that actually.
Okay.
That's not that. I don't think it depends on the kind of fry. I think, but I don't think that's a weird take.
Like, would you dip a curly fry in anything?
No.
I don't have to, but if I'm at Arby's, I'll get Arby's sauce with it.
I guess that's fair.
Get the little that tang with the curly fries, definitely. But I don't need it with a curly fry. But if you got like a waffle fry where it's like a lot of potato, I want something to dip in. The one actually that I can try
is the only place where you get waffle fries at like a drive-through place. So
yeah, I suppose. Actually, the one I can do without the sauce. Actually, I can do like chicken strips or chicken fingers without sauce. That's one that I can do. I can go dry on chicken fingers / chicken tenders, whatever you want to call them. I don't know, but it's still not nearly as weird as Tom's salad bit.
Not a bit.
It seems like a bit at this point. I'm not sure why you would continue to like own that.
It's good.
Now, I have a take about buffalo sauce, and I believe buffalo sauce is fundamentally overrated, and not because I don't like spicy food, because I eat a lot of spicy food. I have a lot of hot sauce. I make a lot of hot sauce. I have a bunch of habanero sauces at home that I made. I think buffalo sauce is fine, but it is not this like king of sauces that people proclaim it to be. I think it's very mediocre. If you're going to use hot sauce, eat hot sauce. If you're just going to dip it in, if you're just going to like, if you're not going for hot sauce, get a sauce that tastes better than buffalo sauce. I don't know. I'm not in on buffalo.
I guess, are we talking about like, are you talking about using buffalo sauce as like a condiment or like a sauce?
So, let's see here. I think this was in relation to me talking about like chicken tenders, chicken fingers, whatever. He says buffalo sauce, like dipping in buffalo sauce. I don't know. See, it's like if you're gonna go for something spicy, get something spicy. So here we go. Okay, that I like Cholula better for hot sauce, especially the chili garlic. Cholula is my like everyday hot sauce. That I have a big bottle of that shit. It's like 8 inches tall. It's great. Cholula is my everyday hot sauce. I have some of my own homemade hot sauces that are a lot hotter than Cholula, but Cholula is where I go if I want something hot. But if I'm not going for spice, I don't go to buffalo sauce. I just dip down into like a nice vinegar-based barbecue sauce, or just depends on what I'm eating, obviously. But I don't know. Just feels like
Yes, we would get fined.
if we sit the starters in
we?
the Big tournament, we get fined.
I think we would get fined. If there was the 5 starters who have started a majority of the season do not start, I think we would get fined.
I don't want Taman breaking through the glass court somehow. Feels like something he
if
could
anybody, yeah. Watch, Taman will be the only person in the entire week that gets hurt on the glass floor because he slips or something like that.
I can promise you. Actually, maybe we do want to play Kansas in the tournament because there's no way Darren Peterson is going to play on a glass court.
That's a good point.
That's actually a good point. That could be something that kind of freaks him out or whatever, that they just don't. Do we know, like, are glass courts like known to be slicker than wood courts? I don't know anything about them really. I mean, I would
suppose. I mean, it's probably fine. I don't think we would play on it if it wasn't.
That's kind of what I was thinking, but I don't know I don't know. New food take
we
boneless
see on
wings are
the women's tournament
objectively-
this week. I mean, they're going to use it for the first time.
Boneless wings are objectively better than bone-in, and if you disagree, you're too scared to admit it because it appears feminine and therefore not confident in your masculinity.
I like chicken nuggets too, man, but like
Actually, there was just a lawsuit that just got settled this past week. I want to say it was in Washington, but don't quote me on that. But there was it's settled in case law that Buffalo Wild Wings boneless chicken wings are not chicken nuggets. It was settled in case law. So it is legally defined as boneless and chicken wings are legally distinct food items. Because some guy was sued Buffalo Wild Wings for like false advertising or something like that, saying they should call them chicken nuggets, but a judge actually ruled boneless wings to be different than chicken nuggets, which they are.
I don't know. I feel like boneless wings aren't chicken nuggets most of the time. Like, you'll get a couple of them where you're like, this is just simply a chicken nugget. Like, what are we doing here? But I mean, the way, they're wrapped in sauce or however, and they're kind of made, I think they're not really chicken nuggets, but at the same time, it's just
boneless wings are a whole piece of chicken versus chicken nuggets, which is ground chicken and re-solidified basically. So they're
I will say, so bone in, I don't really love the mess that comes with it. So
yeah.
I would assume that's the base of that take.
Right. Like, I don't know if there's inherently anything that's like, the bone in, it tastes so much better. I mean, they're both, for the most part, lathered in sauce anyway, but I don't know.
So the past few times I've got B-Dubs boneless wings, they've been so overcooked, I stick with bone in. So I will say that Buffalo Wild Wings in general as a restaurant, in my opinion, has fallen off very significantly in the last 5 years, I would say, especially 5 to 10 years, they've fallen off big time.
I know a history piece. Didn't they get bought by Arby's like 5 years ago? Wasn't that a thing?
So the first thing I went to is Buffalo Wild Wings private equity, and they got bought by a private equity firm in 2018.
And that's when they started to go downhill. You can be like, bang. That's the place on the graph where they went.
History Tom.
History Tom.
Tom apparently.
I knew it was something like that because they did get worse. I remember the menus changing too. They got like weirdly small or something. But
yeah, the last few times I haven't had it a lot recently. The last 5 years, maybe a couple times, but it like the boneless wings are always overcooked. But a lot of times I just don't feel like screwing around with the bone in, with the mess on the bone in. But if I go to like a good wing restaurant, like a Wingstop, I'll get bone in because I really like Wingstop's bone in wings.
It's very hard to eat bone in wings with a mustache. That sounded really depressing the way I delivered
the depression
that.
In your voice, the depression in your voice was jarring.
Sickness. That was the sickness. But it's tough.
It sounded like you had tried to eat bone-in wings like repeatedly for the last 5 years, and you just couldn't do it.
Can't do it anymore. Man.
Have you ever eaten bone-in wings on a date? I'm sorry, this is too much of a personal question. I'm sorry, but like,
I don't think I have.
You should try it. Are you just like afraid of getting the schmutz in your mustache or what?
Yeah, it's just like It's so like something could just be right there and you just don't even notice it.
I guess. Do you ever get the flavor savers for later? Is that like when you eat food, can you detect food particles later? Is that a thing?
No, I'm really bad with portions. I usually eat everything.
I'm not saying you would intentionally stick it in your mouth, but if you eat something and you just like if you do eat pizza, just once in a while you just get a whiff, you got some tomato in there.
No, usually the only
Corn on
thing
the
that
cob
does
with a
get caught up
mustache.
there is boneless wings and ice cream.
Boneless wings and ice cream.
Go Jays.
Oop.
That's all I got. They
What's the
stink. McDermott, potentially last home game. They lost to Providence. Very
you think
depressing.
He's gonna retire?
I think he'll
post
do
that
one more
myself. I've been
year.
looking at the Creighton pullover for a while.
I think he'll do one more year with how this year went. They're moving for a 5-star for next year, or it's the year after, but they have money for basketball. They'll get a good roster. Jason Green and McAndrew are still there. I think next year will be his last year. I want him punted into the sun. He stinks. That was the nicest way I could have said that.
I think they could build around Owen Freeman for next year. Really just center the whole roster around him. Work on getting him the ball down in the low post and let him just go to work.
Yeah.
I think that is what you could do.
Say one more thing about him with my Jays. I'm going to send him. He's going to be a part of your band. He's going to be working with you. Your fun band's not fun anymore. Owen Freeman's going to be.
I could use someone to play keys. That's fine. I don't know if he.
He's the private equity of college basketball programs. You pay him a lot of money and then he shows up and he makes everything bad.
Yeah, Austin says, when can we get viewer call-ins? Maybe someday. We're not going to do it right now. Maybe next season, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Part of it is the logistics of making that work too, with everybody having video and all that. But maybe at some point we will. We'll see. Maybe at the end of the season or something like that, we'll do a call-in show. But not doing it tonight, obviously. But maybe at the end of the season, we'll do one.
I do not believe that you will behave if we let you call in.
No, I've seen your guys' comments. It's not going to happen. What happens when Lance Armstrong's left nut shows up and starts saying some wild shit, but he's got voice? What am I supposed to do with that?
Track him down in the mini cars. That's what we do.
How can we join After Dark? Not really currently accepting applications right now. Maybe down the road. Then you'd probably just send me a message on Discord probably. Told Dragon says you call in to talk about dry salads.
See, that's a bot. That's AI. That's not real.
No, somebody was talking about
Tom's
they have dry salads with cucumbers and peppers. So I like it. We're growing the game.
Andrew says we need a bracket when they're announced. That will be happening. So the night of Selection Sunday, we're figuring out exactly what that's going to do, but there will be some version. We will CycleNet Fanatic After Dark will absolutely be going live. The night of Selection Sunday, whether it's as the picks are getting made or it's right after that. It's some version of that. I would assume we're kind of figuring out exactly what we're gonna do that. If CW and Jake are gonna go or however this is all gonna work. But the night of Selection Sunday, we absolutely will have a live stream that night to go through everything, go through the bracket, look at Iowa State's path and all that. So you can absolutely look forward to that. And I said we'll give you more details as far as that situation goes, because we may do it kind of like post game does, where CW and Jake go and then we follow after. We may do some sort of conjoined screen, some sort of combined stream where that's getting worked out. But maybe a round table. We're still working that out, but we will absolutely let you guys know what the plan is for Selection Sunday.
This is exactly what a bot would say.
That's exactly what
That's tough. That is what a bot would say.
Unfortunately, that is what a bot would say. Especially a British bot, bruv. Can we get backstory on Tom and Keeney? What do you guys have deep lore you need to share?
I think there was a comment earlier. They're wondering how we both got in After Dark.
Oh. Let's see. Austin, you started what? 2018, 2019, somewhere in there.
2018, something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. Because we had a whole stretch there for like a year or two where we hired we brought in like Jake and David. Like I think it was David, then Jake, then you, I think. And Dylan was somewhere right in there. And I want to say Aiden was right in there too. And then Tom, you were 20. Were you before or after COVID?
After, I think 2022.
22-ish, yeah, somewhere in there. So they joined back when we were all with Wide Right, and they joined as writers and all that, and then here we are.
Yeah, I was a longtime reader of the old site, and then basically just out of the blue, Levi was like, "Hey, we're looking for writers," and I sent him something, and he actually got back to me. Like, I didn't expect that to happen at all, and now it's 8 years later, and I've got Mustache Tom talking about dry salad on a live stream. So I don't have deep lore. I wanted something creative outlet to do, and I like I'm an Iowa State alum, love the Cyclones. So,
and you were a finance major, right? And Tom, you were
journalism and event management.
Journalism.
Yeah,
management.
I had class with Aiden, and I also follower and big fan of the site. And he was talking about it, and I said, "Do you have any open positions or whatever?" And I think I DM'd Levi shortly after, and it was women's basketball and recruiting. And I was like, "I'll do recruiting," and then now I learn probably 1/3 of the stuff I do a day from the Slack. So that's where I'm at. I mean, it's true too. Like, I don't know where I'd be without the Slack. If we're being honest. I learned a ton of stuff. Some stuff really bad. Some stuff pretty good. Yeah, shout out Aiden though, the GOAT. Clip that, Aiden. That's for you.
Aiden brought in a few people. Specifically, stole a few people from the Daily. Did you? Yeah, so he stole you from the Daily. I believe Nigel Dyson as well. I remember Dylan when he first messaged. He may have messaged Matthias first. I don't remember. It was either me or Matthias, but he was deciding between internship with us and then doing one with Barstool Iowa State. And think it's worked out for him to go with us on that one. Tom, don't let nobody get you down. If you would like more free messages, $5. Oh shit.
Very, very real comment there. I saw a very real story on Facebook today about TJ and Taman meeting to kick a player off a team, and something about George Yang was vocal about his disgust with the last game. I saw some of the AI slop earlier today, so that's what I'm talking about. But I was trying to think of, there was one more really good one.
Oh, Joe said, is this your dad, Tom?
Yeah, that's my dad.
ISU tailgate home, barbecue ribs, brisket, bone and wings, beans, dry salad, and chips. On Tom's parents will let you know which we can get tickets. FYI, Tom, hopefully going to ladies game Friday.
Tom, I will go to your
parents
parents' tailgate with a bottle of
bullshit.
ranch dressing and just like do a drive-by.
I need to know now, is this dry salad habit perpetuated by your parents? Do they also eat dry salad?
My dad does. I don't think I think my mom goes with
the whole family of them.
There's a whole family of them.
Dry salad eaters. Holy shit. Shit.
But if you want to get to basketball for a second, one quick second. This comment says, any ideas what to do with the offense? Simple. Move with a purpose. That's it. Just off ball, move, rotate. If you have the ball, drive with a purpose. And if you get stuck in the lane, keep your dribble or jump stop. It's super simple stuff. I don't really know how it continues to be like this. A lot of it is on Milan. Not his fault totally. It's just, it's so hard for him to get a clean shot these days, but just move with a purpose, guys.
Yeah. Keeney?
How to make the offense better? I mean, I don't know, just the habits that we've fallen into I think it's just more about the habits that the guys are doing, like Jefferson trying to back guys down in the paint. It's just not working. Like, I don't know, put him in a position where he can utilize his skill set better and distribute instead of backing down in the post and then throwing the ball off the backboard.
Yeah.
That's fine with like 4 seconds on the shot clock, not 12. Like we can't be doing that with 12.
That cannot be plan A when you get down the floor.
Yeah.
Like, because there's a part of it too, is like when there's so many possessions where he'll clear out the offense. He'll get him over to the other side of the floor. He'll back the guy down, and the whole defense is immediately rotating over because they know exactly what's going to happen here. He's going to back his dude down. He's going to make a spin move or something like that. And if he spins towards the baseline, there's usually a guy there to poke the ball away. If he spins away, there's a second defender in the middle of the paint to contest the shot again. They know what's coming, and they just know he's not passing out of it because Milan's probably not open because obviously because they haven't set a screen for him or anything to help him get open, and the other 3 people on the floor are probably not shooters. So that's the tricky part is they got to get out of that. They need to do a better job, like Tom said, off ball, getting Bateman, getting Milan Momcilovic, getting Taman open out, getting somebody open from 3. Where they can start getting some open shots and start trying to knock them down a little bit. I was glad to see that Taman got a little bit out of his shooting funk tonight. I think seeing that first 3 go down was huge. That definitely got his confidence back a little bit where it was.
You guys want to guess how many turnovers Arizona had tonight? Oh, it's actually a bigger number than I thought.
I wouldn't have said very many. I would have said like 7, 6, maybe.
I want to say 13.
It was 15, and I can't really remember any offense that we generated off of it.
No.
So that's part of the problem is we're not creating easy buckets because we're not getting the live ball turnovers that lead to layups. Also, right. I will say, Tom, you small ball lineup with Jefferson at the 5 and just put your best shooters out there that you can, Heisey, Bateman, along with Taman and Momcilovic. Maybe
I still think
do some.
I still think they're saving it. Yeah, I think they're saving it for March because it's so bearing on Jefferson, and we've seen how rough it can be when he's tired.
Well, and him playing with 3.5 fouls all night sucks too.
Because like some of it was just undisciplined. Like, why are you jumping there? Like Del Orso, that pass was so high, he wasn't gonna catch and shoot it. His feet weren't even set. There's no reason to close out like that. I understand it's a habit thing on a shooter like that, but also that's just using your brain right there. Like
5 fast break points on 15 turnovers just
isn't going to get it done. 5 points.
It's not going to get it done.
So I saw that we out rebounded them on the offensive rebounds, like 11-6, and we turned them over more. Like with those 2, I would have been like, oh, we probably lost by 6, 5, really close game.
That's where the lack of shot making came in because we got so many offensive rebounds in like the first 8 minutes of the game, and we didn't score any points off of it.
Right, and that's where it kind of came in. That's why I wanted to start with I wanted to kick off the show with like commending their effort on the boards, and just because I thought they came out, they played with good energy, they rebounded the shit. Blake Buchanan was a monster on the boards the first like 5-10 minutes. He was awesome, and part of it is you wouldn't have had to been a monster on the boards if you just made some shots, but can't make every shot, but you need to make some shots. I mean, there's a couple possessions there where they got two or three offensive boards and they just still couldn't get anything to go.
I think it was like right after we cut it to 8 or it was like 10 or something like that. We had like 4 offensive rebounds in the second half on the same possession. Mm-hmm. It was the one where Taman rolled his ankle. And like we had so many good open looks on one possession, we couldn't get any of them to fall. It's like, I guess it's just not our night.
I don't think we're going to continue to shoot this bad indefinitely. Hopefully Wednesday, Wednesday. Hopefully for the Arizona State game, you're at home against a team that's like they're a little pesky, but they're not like a great basketball team. They're fine, I guess. You should have some opportunities to generate some open looks. That's your chance to kind of get off the schneid a little bit, knock down some jumpers, generate open shots, knock down some jumpers, and kind of get back into your rhythm a little bit, for the tournament, where then you can go and play in front of a lot of Iowa State fans, and hopefully try to get this thing turned back around. I want them to go far and win the tournament and all that, but to me, the Big 12 tournament right now is more about getting things back rolling again than you are worried about each individual result. I want them to be playing good basketball again. Even if they show up and they have to play, they have to play Houston, or they got to play, Kansas, or they got to play Arizona in a semifinal or something like that, and they don't make the title game. That's, I can, as long as they're playing good basketball, that's what I care about, because getting to the tournament for this team, it's always been about what they can do in the tournament. So they need to be playing their best basketball when they get to the tournament, the big tournament.
We saw after the Cincinnati and Kansas loss, the immediate games after that, we ran like the first 4 or 5 plays for Milan. And though sometimes he wouldn't get a shot, we would get an open shot because of it. I would like us to go back to that a lot. But more importantly, with an opponent like Arizona State and the opponent you're probably going to face in the first round on Wednesday, I would like us to do that with Torre on the offensive end. I still expect him to be a starter. I know he's not playing starter minutes, which I don't know what the big deal is with Bateman wanting to start over him. Like, Torre's playing 18 minutes a game. Like, he's listed as a starter. He's not playing minutes as a starter. I would like us to run a play for Torre to start the game, or maybe 2 in the first 6 possessions. Like, make him feel confident. Like, hey, yo, we're getting you a shot here because we believe in you. Okay, like, you're starting for a reason. We still believe in you. And his pull-up mid-range isn't awful. Like, that, besides his drives, are probably like the shot I like the most. So how about we just do something like that? If it doesn't go in, it's like, hey, we're trying for you, man. We still believe in you. Just, something to give him a little confidence. Because with him especially, I know the offense is struggling right now. But with Torre, I think that is all confidence with him.
I would agree there too. And I don't think you don't need Torre to just all of a sudden get hot from 3, but you just need him to not be a 0 on offense. You need him to be like, he needs to be more than just a guy that takes a handoff and passes it to somebody else. Like, he needs to be more than that, whether it's taking it to the hole, whether it's a mid-range, whether he can start knocking down a few threes, whatever it is. He's just got to get something going. And I don't know if he's going to be able to find his shot before the end of the season, but he's got to get something, because right now it's hard to justify keeping him on the floor, because his defense is like, it's good, but he can get switched off of the guy that matters. And on offense, he just right now can't do enough to be a contributor. So it's just kind of one of those things where he's got to do something to take some pressure off of Taman and off of Milan and off of Joshua as well.
Yep.
So, well, it is midnight. I think we'll probably get ready to wrap her up. You guys got any final thoughts before we call it a night for this thing?
Austin?
I don't think so.
Fair enough.
Go Cyclones. Let's try to win a game on Saturday.
Absolutely. So let's finish out the season strong. Go down to Kansas City. Hopefully get a few wins there and get ready for March. Get ready for the big dance. So we will all see you again on Saturday for the post. Actually, tomorrow we'll see you Thursday we'll see you for Offensively Offensive with Tom, Sean, and Nate Schuster. And I believe David will check in for women's basketball as well. Then Saturday we'll be here for the post game after the Arizona State game. And then we'll be at tournament week. So everybody have a great rest of your week. Go Cyclones.